Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do. The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
December 14th, 2012, Newtown, Connecticut. It was just another peaceful Friday morning in a small American town. Parents dropped their children off at school. Kids laughed in the hallways. Teacher prepared for a normal day of learning. But within minutes, that peace would shatter forever. What happened next would become one of the darkest, most heartbreaking tragedies in modern history. This is the story of Sandy Hook Elementary and the day America lost its innocence. Sandy Hook Elementary School stood in a quiet neighborhood of Newtown, a small, tight-knit community where everyone knew each other. At 9 a.m., classrooms were filling up. 26-year-old Victoria Soto was reading to her first graders. Principal Dawn Hawksprung was in a meeting with other staff. And across town, at a modest house on Yogananda Street, a young man sat in silence. His name was Adam Lanza, 20 years old. No one knew it yet, but he was about to change the course of hundreds of lives. Adam Lanza had grown up in Newtown. He was described as quiet, intelligent, but deeply troubled. From a young age, he struggled with severe social anxiety, OCD, and was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. He avoided human contact, barely spoke, barely ate. His mother, Nancy Lanza, tried to connect with him but often failed. She was a gun enthusiast who kept multiple firearms at home, something she believed would help Adam learn responsibility and discipline. But in reality, those guns would become instruments of tragedy. Adam had become obsessed with mass shootings, researching them for hours, studying their every detail. He isolated himself from everyone, living mostly in his dark bedroom, communicating only through emails with his mother. And on the night of December 13th, 2012, something inside him snapped. At around 9:30 a.m. on December 14th, Adam Lanza took his mother's Bushmaster XM15E2S rifle. He walked into her bedroom while she slept and shot her 4 times in the head. Then, dressed in black clothing and a tactical vest, he loaded his car with handguns, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and drove towards Sandy Hook Elementary School, the same school he once attended as a child. He arrived at 9:35 a.m. He shot his way through the front glass doors, the sound echoing through the halls. Teachers froze. Students screamed. An emergency announcement crackled over the intercom. Someone was in the building with a gun. What followed lasted only 6 minutes, but it would scar an entire nation. Lanza entered classroom 8, where teacher Rachel Diavino and special education instructor and Marie Murphy tried desperately to shield their students. He opened fire. Then he moved into classroom 10, Victoria Soto's first graders. Victoria hid her students inside closets and cabinets, whispering for them to stay quiet. When the gunman entered, she tried to tell him the kids were in the gym, but he shot her instantly. One little girl survived by pretending to be dead beneath her classmates' bodies. By 9:40 a.m., police began surrounding the building. Lanza fired a few more rounds and then turned the gun on himself. It was over. 20 children, all between 6 and 7 years old, and 6 adult staff members were dead. As the news broke, parents rushed to the school, desperate to find their children. The firehouse nearby became the reunification point, and slowly, name by name, the surviving children were brought out. But soon, it became clear some names would never be called. The heartbreak was unimaginable. Small desks sat empty. Christmas presents waited at home that would never be opened. The victims' names became symbols of innocence lost. Aviel, Noah, Grace, Jack, Daniel, Charlotte, Olivia, Emily, and so many others. Newtown, a peaceful town that once felt safe, became the epicenter of national grief. President Barack Obama addressed the nation that evening, tears visible in his eyes. Our hearts are broken today. We have endured too many of these tragedies. Across America, churches filled with candlelight vigils. People left flowers, stuffed animals, and handwritten notes outside the school gates. It wasn't just grief, it was disbelief. How could this happen again? How could anyone hurt children? The tragedy reignited debates about gun control, mental health, and school safety, debates that still continue today. But no law, no policy could erase the image of those 20 little faces or the sound of parents crying outside that school. Sandy Hook Elementary was demolished in 2013. A new building was later constructed on the same site, brighter, safer, with a design meant to heal. Every year, families gather to honor the victims, not through anger, but through love. They created the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, working to prevent gun violence and protect children nationwide. The world still remembers that cold December morning, not just for the horror, but for the bravery of teachers who sacrificed themselves and the children who never got a chance to grow up. They were just kids, drawing, laughing, learning. A single morning took them away, but their memory continues to remind us what's truly at stake. Sandy Hook wasn't just a tragedy. It was a mirror held up to a nation. And until that reflection changes, those empty desks will keep haunting us all.